अब मैं आमंत्रित करूंगा बिना टाइम वेस्ट किए हमारे मैं आपसे इंट्रोडक्शन भी कराऊंगा और अभी आमंत्रित करूंगा हमारे आज के लाइफ ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन कोच श्री सुधांशु जी गोस्वामी जी को। ही इज ए लाइफ ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन कोच एंड फाउंडर ऑफ द लाइफ abundance gurukul. His mission is to help 1 million people fast track on success and abundance in all areas of their life through inner transformation. He is a mechanical engineer, an MBA, an Ashtanga yoga practitioner, a certified Reiki master, an astrologer, and a Vastu consultant. Born in a family of teachers, he is a firm believer in the purity of karma and service to the community. जी सुधांशु जी, आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत, अभिनंदन है जी। ओवर टू यू सुधांशु जी। अभी मैं आपसे गुजारिश करूंगा कि आज हमारे जितने भी व्यूअर्स हैं जूम मीटिंग पे और फेसबुक पे, काफी फेसबुक पेजेस पे लाइव जा रहा है ये कार्यक्रम देश विदेश में। मैं आपसे गुजारिश करूंगा आप कृपया हम सभी को इस कोरोना पेंडेमिक में किस तरह से हम अपने बिजनेस को ऊंचाइयों पे लेके जाके अपने हेल्थ की सुरक्षा करते हुए ले जा सके, जी कृपया सभी का मार्गदर्शन कीजिए सुधांशु जी।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। और I acknowledge and bow to the divinity within all of you, and I welcome all of you who are committed to do whatever it takes to live a wholesome and a healthy life. I am really grateful and I thank you for making me a part of this great event and our journey of transformation. So kindly allow me to start with a question. I know we all want to be healthy, and we also know what is to be done to remain healthy. We know the how and the what of it. How to remain healthy and what to be done to remain healthy. We all know about it. We are all intelligent beings. But tell me one thing. How many of us are able to actually do whatever it is to be done to remain healthy? It means having a healthy routine, doing physical exercises, and most importantly, a control on what goes inside our mouth. Now, you see, it is becoming a bit more difficult to answer. No, we all know what it requires to be healthy. But then, why are many of us not doing it? I'm sure most of you know that what stops you from following a disciplined daily healthy routine. You all know about your inner voices. But you know, our mind is very cunning. It always tries to find a reason to justify our action. You know, we basically don't want to move out of our comfort zone. But our mind would not let us accept that. So it always tries to find an external justification or a reason to justify our lethargy and our inaction. And when this pandemic started, our mind found one more reason. Now, I don't say it's true that we all are grappling with this impact of this global pandemic. Almost everyone, whether he is a daily wage earner or a business owner or a salaried person, has been adversely affected by this pandemic. And especially for businesses, it's a great testing time because losing money and business is a big and a real fear. But think of it. Should we allow this situation to add one more inner voice, one more internal justification based out of fear for damaging our emotional, our mental, and our physical health? Rather, it is all the more important in these turbulent times to maintain our health in peak condition. So this alone will give us the inner strength to successfully tide over this turbulent time of the pandemic. So my talk is not to tell you how you should keep healthy. You already know it very well. I'll be just wasting my time on this. My talk will also not be on what is stopping you from following a healthy routine. you all know about the how and what. My purpose to be here is that when I leave after 30 minutes, I should be able to kindle a spark of transformation within your heart and mind. My talk should be able to inspire and ignite the fire of why should you take more care about your health during this pandemic. Only when your why becomes your inspiration to maintain a good health, a transformation can happen within you. So I want you all to write down in the comments below, why should you remain mentally, emotionally, and physically healthy, especially during this pandemic, despite businesses being affected? You can allow me to help you by giving you 2 reasons why you should take care of your health in these trying times. The first reason is that you are valuable, not only for yourself, but for the society and for the country at large. Let's not forget that business owners are the strongest hands of divinity, because firstly, in the process of establishing a business, your patience is tried and tested. You have to overpower so many of your inner voices and limitations. And establishing a business amidst so many obstacles is a victory, and it makes you a warrior. And when you emerge victorious after fighting so many inner and outer battles to establish a business, you become valuable. And that makes the business owners so special. The second reason is that every business is a service to humanity, because it caters to the needs of humanity. You are the people with a mission. You are the most precious gift of divinity given to humanity. You are valuable because what you contribute to the world is valuable. So when you have been a warrior till now, you cannot let these calamities, whether it is natural or man-made, overpower your fighting spirit. Rather, these external events teach us to make self-improvements and adapt to the new situations. At a personal level, you know, when we grapple with our day-to-day problems and overcome them and come out victorious, we end up becoming a better version of ourselves. And at the level of business, we overcome the problems by bringing improvements in the quality of business. It's an opportunity to adapt to new ways of business and service to humanity. And only those who refuse to adapt will get extinct. Survival of the fittest is at the core of universal evolution. It's the law of the universe. And for those who fear, let us understand that fear is a function of our limitedness, our feeling of separation. It's a feeling of our ahankar or our ego mind. Our ahankar is one which resists any change. When a storm comes, only those trees are uprooted which resist to bow down, and they stand rigid and straight. And those trees which can bend down and let the storm pass over, they are surviving. They survive to live. Same is with our businesses. To survive, you have to continuously adapt and motivate and innovate. Otherwise, even big companies like Kodak can get wiped away in the storm of time. So fear is only for those who are rigid and they refuse to change and refuse to adapt to new circumstances. Maharshi Patanjali says, avidya asmita rag dvesha abhinivesha klesha. He says the only cause of pain and suffering in human life are, first is avidya, which means ignorance about our true self. Second is asmita, which is identifying with our ego consciousness that I am separate from others. The third is raga, which means attachment with material things. The fourth is dvesha, which is the other side of the coin, which is aversion or disliking of certain things. And lastly, abhinivesha is our deep-seated anxiety or fear. Maharshi says there is not a sixth thing apart from these five things which are the cause of all pain and suffering in human life. So making fear and anxiety as an excuse to spoil our emotional and physical health is foolishness and will only bring more pain and suffering to us. Eventually, we are the creators of our own destiny. Your life is the sum result of the choices you make, both consciously and unconsciously. If you can just control the process of choosing, you can take control of all aspects of your life. And there are only two constant truths when it comes to your life. The first is everything that happens to us in life is a result of our choices we make. We choose whether to go to the morning walk or to the gym or we do not go. Both are choices. Whether we hit the snooze button on the alarm clock early morning or we choose to get up at the first alarm and go to the gym or walk, both are choices and you know the consequences of both these choices. The second is the choices you make today will impact your life tomorrow. In fact, you are the only problem you will ever have and you are the only solution. Change is inevitable. Personal health is always a personal choice. So, if you encounter any problem in life, it is you alone who is the solution to that problem. No one else can be blamed for that. But despite knowing this simple fact, what is it that pushes us back into the state of helplessness? Why we just keep on reacting to every situation of life on autopilot, blaming our circumstances, blaming those around us, and even blaming pandemics for the sufferings in our life? Now, let us go a bit deeper into the meaning of what Maharshi Patanjali has said. See, what does the word creator of destiny imply? It implies that we are the same divine consciousness which has created this universe. And once this awareness and the feeling of being a creator sets in our mind, deep inside us, we are able to take 100% responsibility for everything that happens to us. It then implies that we alone have a solution to every problem of ours. We then know that we have a choice to respond to every situation in our life. And with every choice that we make, or for every choice that we do not make, we are responsible for creating our future. Think for a moment. Are you your physical body? I have heard so many people say, this is my body, I can do anything I like with this. But don't you think this is foolishness? You are not your body. You are not your mind. You are not your thoughts. This body belongs to you. This mind belongs to you. These thoughts belong to you. You were there much before you got this body in this life, in this Janma. And you will still be there when this body no longer remains. So when you know your true nature, you get the power to control your mind and your thoughts. You then realize that this body and this mind is a gift given to you in this life. So it becomes your karmic responsibility to take good care of your body and your mind. It's your duty to keep it healthy. But when we are ignorant about our true limitless nature and under the influence of asmita or our ego self or ahankara, we become fearful and we allow fear to control our mind. You know, Bhagwan Shri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Rag Dvesh Viyuktastu Vishyani Indriyas Charan Atma Vashyar Videyatma Prasadam Adigachati. That means one who controls the mind and is free from raga and dvesha, that is the attachment and aversion, he attains the grace of God even while using the objects of the senses. So kindly allow me to look at our health issue from a holistic perspective. So let's talk about three things. First is, what is the most important goal in your life? Second, what prevents you from seeing the linkage between your life goal and your health goal? And thirdly, what happens when you are able to see the bigger picture of your true self when you combine your health with your life goal? So without wasting time, let us come to the subject. What is your most important goal in life? Since most of you are business owners, so obviously for many of you, the ultimate end goal of all that you are doing is to be wealthy and abundant. Till this point, it's all fine. This is perfectly fine. You have a fixed destination on the Google map of your life and you are all set for the drive. The problem starts when we are so fixated on our goal that we start neglecting some of the other areas of our life. We will compensate for those areas of life when we have enough wealth. We start neglecting our health. We start neglecting our relationship with our near and dear ones. How many of you agree that passion is an absolute requirement to achieve your goals? But over passion kills. Speed is good, but over speed kills. The problem starts when we are driving with so much of a hurry to reach our destination that we forget to refuel our car. No wonder many of the cars, they do not manage to reach the destination. And those who barely to the destination, they end up in such a bad state, physically and mentally, challenged and diseased. And then when they look back on their journey, they ask themselves, was this journey worth taking at all? But it's too late by then to reverse the damage. How many of you have seen a bumblebee, our bee, what does it do? It moves from one flower to another flower, collecting nectar and then deposits the nectar in the beehive. It spends the entire life from morning till night collecting honey for the queen bee. How many of you realize our lives are no different? If you were to ask that honeybee, what is your purpose in life? What do you think that honeybee will say? It would say, obviously, my purpose in life is to collect honey. But do you know what it does when it moves from one flower to another flower? It helps in pollination. It unknowingly becomes a hand of divinity to pollinate flowers which turn into fruits. The bee thinks that collecting honey is the purpose of its life. It does not know that it is unknowingly serving a much bigger purpose of. My point here, with great love and respect for you, is this: that you as business owners may think your purpose of life as creation of wealth for the shareholders and for yourself. But what if you may unknowingly be the agents of divinity serving a much bigger purpose in the service of humanity? And if your purpose is so much bigger, is it not your karmic responsibility to nurture and nourish this vehicle, which is your physical body and your mind, and keep it healthy. When you realize that your true purpose, you realize your why, it is then that you realize your true value in the bigger scheme of the universe. It is then you get inspired to keep yourself emotionally and mentally healthy. When you are working for a cause and a mission, you are no more focused on making money alone. Money and wealth then comes as a byproduct. You know, when Dhirubhai, he made it his mission to provide every Indian good quality polyester cloth at affordable prices, which was being earlier imported. When Dhirubhai made it his mission to provide every Indian a phone call, which should be cheaper than a postcard, it was then that great businesses were born. And then you no longer remain an individual. Your health then becomes more important for the society and for the nation that you serve. More than yourself, your health becomes important for the millions of people who depend upon you for their well-being. So, what did we learn from all this? The key is to control your mind, to control your health. Don't let fear control your mind. Do you know, in the English language, we often call mind. What does the word mind mean? It means only mind. There is no other word in English language for mind. But in our ancient scriptures, mind is described as constituting of man, buddhi, chit, and ahankar. Your manas or man is the controller of your senses. Your chit is the storehouse of your past memories. Your ahankara is the ego consciousness. That is a feeling of separation from everything else. And buddhi is the intelligence which has the power to discriminate between what is good and what is bad, what is right and what is wrong. So, on the one side, your manas is connected with your 5 jnanendriyas and the 5 karmendriyas. So, when you surrender to your sense organs, when you surrender to your taste buds, or you surrender to your worldly attraction, your mind becomes outwardly oriented. Your manas gets disconnected from the buddhi and aligns itself with your chit and ahankara to get into raga, dvesha. It gets into hatred or anger and jealousy and greed. It becomes fearful. Mind is your manomaya kosh, or the mental body, which controls your prana or the pranamaya kosh, and it also controls your physical body and the annamaya kosh. And when you are not able to control your mind, you damage your emotional body, your energy body, and your physical body. So then, how can we control our mind? I think we all grapple with this question. How do we control our mind, and especially during this pandemic? But let me tell you, it's very simple. See, on the downward side, if you see, your mind is attached with senses. But on the top side, if you see, your mind along with buddhi is connected with divine consciousness also. So, align your man or manas with buddhi and vivek. Listen to the divine intelligence within you, which alone has the power to guide you and discriminate between what is right and wrong. I think, let me give you a very practical example of how it works, because this may be looking very difficult to understand. So let us take, suppose you like sweets, but the doctor has advised you not to take sweets as you are taking medicine for sugar control. Now, you go to a party and a very big bowl of delicious hot gulab jamuns, they come on the table. Now, when your mind or man, ahankar and chit, they gang together, they throw your buddhi to the sideline. You know, you have heard buddhi brushed. Buddhi is not brushed, but our man, chitta and ahankar, they manage to shut down our buddhi in a very dark room from where we cannot listen to the voice of buddhi. So when man, chit and ahankar attach themselves with the senses, and in this case, your sense of taste, your mouth starts watering, your mind is under the influence of Radha or attachment to the gulab jamun, you forget what Maharshi Patanjali told about the harmful effects of Raga and Dvesha. Your chit, it brings in sweet memories from the past when you had gulab jamuns earlier and the taste of it comes back to you. Now, what is the role of Ahankara in this? Who likes the gulab jamun? Answer this. Who likes the gulab jamun? I. It is this I. This is the Ahankar or the feeling of separatedness. So now, when you surrender to your senses, you end up eating not one but 10 gulab jamun. And what is the outcome? Your blood sugar level shoots up, ending in more pain and suffering. Now, take the same scenario, but a different setting. When you bypass your ego and you connect your mind with your true self or your divine self, which is the divine consciousness, you realize the truth that you are not your mind. You are not your senses. The body and mind is yours. You now have the power to control your mind. Your mind now sees the gulab jamun. Your sense of taste gets activated, but you bypass your ego self and you connect with your true divine self. Then your buddhi or your intelligence gets activated. And your buddhi or intelligence has the power to discriminate between what is right and what is wrong for you. And when buddhi becomes the boss, it orders your mind that these gulab jamuns are not good for your health. And the mind, it has no other choice but to listen to buddhi. Then what is the outcome? You not only make a right choice, you do a right karma whose result would be right. And by doing this, you also increase your self-esteem. You feel victorious at overcoming your temptation. You feel happy at overpowering your senses. You see, the same situation, but two scenarios. When you allow your mind to become a slave of your senses, you end up in pain and suffering. When you align your divine self and listen to your buddhi or your intellect, the mind takes the direction from buddhi and you end up making the right choices. And if you want to align with your divine consciousness, it comes with surrender and with devotion to the divine. When you align your Vijnanmaya Kosh with your Anandmaya Kosh, that is the feeling of true bliss and joy. You know, being happy without a reason. You can then be happy no matter what the external circumstances in life are. Pandemic or no pandemic, you are no longer affected. So let us align ourselves with our higher consciousness. And I will request you to close your eyes. Kindly, all of you can close your eyes. Take a deep breath and exhale slowly. Let your body sink in. Let your body sink into the chair or wherever you are sitting. Get comfortable. Nothing else matters right now. Everything is okay. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. Simply feel your body and listen. Feel your natural breath Allow your body to become heavy. Feel your body getting heavy and sinking into the earth. Your bones are getting heavy and sinking. Bring your awareness to your legs. Relax your legs. Relax your thighs. Your lower abdomen. Relax your stomach and your lower back. Relax your chest and your upper back. Relax your shoulders, your arms, your ankles. Relax your lower arms, your wrist, your palms and your fingers. Relax your neck, your face, your lips, your nose, both the ears. Relax your eyes, your forehead, your crown, and relax the back of the head. And with every breath, you are going deeper and deeper into relaxation. Just look at your imperfectness. You may be having less than perfect health or wealth. It's okay. Visualize the person you want to be, the state of health you want to be in, the amount of wealth you want to have along with a good health. It's not just about you. It's about the millions of lives that you would be touching, the millions of lives that you would be serving. The ultimate aim of every business is to serve the people, to provide them what they need. And it's the highest form of service. And you have been chosen by divinity to carry out divinity's work in this universe. And by doing this, you are going to be the role model and an inspiration to your family, to your society, to your country, and to the world at large. You are valuable to humanity. So your health is not just important for you alone. It's important for a much bigger purpose. It's important to achieve the purpose of your life. It's important for the millions of people whom you serve. Feel the presence of divinity in every cell of your body, pulsating, throbbing in every cell of your body. You are a divine being, and your journey on earth in this life is to serve a much bigger purpose. And let this feeling be a permanent part of your memory from now on. Keep this feeling in every moment of your life from now on. Take a deep breath. A deep breath in and a deep breath out. And slowly open your eyes. So take care of health, because more than you, your health is important for your family, for the society, for the country, and for the entire humanity at large. I thank you for being here. And I thank and bow before the divinity within each one of you. May God bless us all with health, wealth, and abundance in all areas of our life. Thank you.